Validation. Some people look for it as a kid. Some people look for it as a teenager. Other people look for it as an adult. Some people their whole lives, which is pretty natural because we're human. But with the rise of social media, I think things just get worse every day, honestly. Compare yourself to others or trying to show the highlights of your life, the best parts of your life. And, people just trying to fit in with things that you don't normally do or you don't want to do, or, just trying to be like everybody else, just trying to be accepted, validated. And that's the problem. Why be like everybody else? Why not be what you want to be? Why not try that new hobby you always wanted to do? Why not apply to that job you always wanted to try? Go for it. Why not try to take care of your mind, your body, your soul, your emotions, for yourself, to better yourself, not to appease other people, but for yourself. Man, I don't know. It just seems like a lot. What if people make fun of me? What if I look stupid? Or what if I really just don't accomplish it? What if it's just not meant for me? Maybe I'm just not good enough. I don't know. But why does it even matter? Of course, you're always gonna have people laugh at you, or doubt you, or question what you're doing, or your goals. Some people just don't have the same goals as you, and it's fine. I should never deter you or make you give up on your goals, because at the end of the day, are they there putting in the work in with you? Are they there making those sacrifices? Are they there doing what they need to do to achieve their goals? And if not, why are you listening to them? Why are you so infatuated of what they have to say, how they feel about what you are doing, what your goals are, what you want to do for yourself? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. When you look back at your life, you're going to be proud that you didn't, lose that weight, gain that muscle, go for that job you wanted to always go for, shoot your shot at the person you always wanted to shoot your shot at, or whatever the case may be, When you sit down on your deathbed, or you just ponder on your life now, are you going to be satisfied with, what you've done so far in life, or are you going to kind of sulk and regret it and continue to not do anything, It's really just your choice. It's your decision. People always say, I don't know where to start, or I don't know how to start. Or people always give up when, they don't receive praise or, support, love from other people, They start doubting themselves. But do you give yourself praise when you hit that new PR? Do you give yourself praise when you land that job you always wanted? Do you give yourself praise when you even got out the bed to even just do what you need to do for the day? And if you don't, it starts with yourself. How can you not be proud of yourself? Or how can you expect people to be proud of you when you're not proud of yourself? From the minute things. It could be from getting top 250 in a video game to learning a new calisthenic move. Give yourself praise, Or just for if you have social anxiety, you have trouble speaking to people in public, just saying hi to one random person a day, just one little step closer. You should be proud of that, Should be little goals you should always set to try to be better, you just want to be hungry to always be better, write out your goals, write out your good habits, your bad habits, the habits that you really want to change or get rid of, and the habits that you do want to keep or are really beneficial to you and your skill set. And even after everything, write down questions for yourself. And I think these questions I always ask myself too, even if I feel like I'm losing, sight or motivation or whatever whatever that's not in line with my goals or anything. And I want you to write down, the important things in life for you. What are important things in life for you? What is your ideal life? When you envision your future, when you envision what you want to do in life, who you want to be in life, what do you envision? And ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice to get that life? Some things might be hard, some things might be easier to sacrifice, but if you really want something, you're gonna have to make those sacrifices. You're really gonna have to sit down and decide with yourself, all right, this and this. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm gonna do it, and this is what I'm going to do to achieve it. And I feel like a lot of people just go on whims, or they just kind of take life by winging it, which is not bad. It's good to live in the moment, live day by day, but it's good to have a plan to act on, to have foundation. You always want to have a solid foundation for anything you're doing, and your foundation is yourself. And if you don't have a strong sense of self or confidence or discipline, everything else is not going to stick. Surround yourself around people who love you unconditionally, who want the best for you, who's going to bring the best out of you, people that you're going to benefit from, people who's going to benefit from you, and not in a way of using each other, but of just intertwining goals, and just achieving the same thing at the end of the day, and just having a shared mindset and passion to wanting to better yourself and just wanting the best out of life. Surround yourself with people who have great habits that you want. Don't take advice from people who's not doing what you want in life. It just don't make sense. Be a leader, and if you don't want to be, look up to somebody or be around somebody who's very influential, very caring, very gentle, but also great protector, great leader, who can guide people, who can also listen and teach, but also learn. Just do things that's for yourself. Be around people who want the best for you and yourself. And just don't stop doing. Don't stop being great. And every day you work towards something, might feel minuscule, but I promise one little step every day leads to something way greater. A dollar wouldn't be a dollar without 100 pennies. Every single penny is important. Just like every single little step to the grand goal. So don't stop loving yourself. Don't stop doing what you're doing. And don't stop being great for yourself.